3 years ago, I made a decision that felt impossible at the time. I quit porn.
I didn't think it would change much. Maybe I'd have a little bit more energy, a bit more confidence and discipline, but I was dead wrong. By month 3, I looked in the mirror and I saw a completely different person. A sharper jawline, more confidence in my eyes and a clearer skin. But that wasn't even the craziest part of all. Conversations flew easier. I had more confidence and for the first time in my life I actually felt in control. So after 1,000+ days, here is exactly what changed and how you can experience the same transformation I had myself.
Now, here's the thing. When I first quit porn forever, I was kind of expecting life to get easier. I was expecting the urges to completely disappear because I already made the choice, didn't I? Well, it turns out that after you quit pornography or something that serious within your life, which stimulates your brain so much, it turns out that it's not just gonna wail just like that. Your brain so far is apparently used to receiving all of the stimulation. And it turns out that it won't just let go. It won't just suddenly become easier for you. Because if we are honest, if it was that easy, everyone would have quit. But sadly, it's not that easy. So I ended up realizing it took me literally 9 months to realize this one concept, that I would have to channel that energy somewhere. I had all this energy, yet I didn't know what to do with it. At first, I didn't know what to do with all this extra energy, and that could have been very dangerous. But instead, I made a decision that literally changed everything. With all that freed up energy, I decided to channel it into something that will actually be beneficial for me in the future. Something like going to the gym. And so I went from this person that barely did 30 push-ups a month to a person who is consistent within the gym daily. And I started channeling the energy, I started getting stronger and all of that. Started reading books, meditation, all of these good habits. It was awesome. And I'm thinking, damn man, it's been already a year and I look pretty damn fine. I mean, the progress was slow, of course, it's not something that is instantaneous, but I got those noob gains and I looked fucking awesome. I finally got my V-taper, where your body literally looks like the V letter, where your shoulders are broader and your waist is smaller. It looked amazing and I still have it up to this day. But here's the weird part. It wasn't just my body that changed. This started affecting everything within my life, especially socialization. But one thing that I didn't realize was how much porn actually affected me in regards to social skills. You see, I always use that as an escape. I always use that as something that should be used whenever I feel bad. For example, sometimes I wouldn't even turn it on, I would just have it within my imagination and I would just go to sleep after a tough day of school because I typically got bullied at school. And I would just jerk off because I couldn't really fall asleep because of that. And that made me just completely alienate myself from everyone else. I was the weird kid, quote unquote, within my high school, within my school, everywhere. And I was known like that for basically up to the second or the third year of high school. And it fucking sucked. So I decided, hey, things are different. I quit porn. And this was the thing that was holding me back. And I'm not saying that after I quit porn, I suddenly got this magical realization, something just clicked within my brain, and eventually everything just changed within a single second. Far from it. It was hard. It was painful, bro. I started talking to people so nervously at the gym. At first guys, of course. And I'm just trying to make friends. I made couple of friends. They were not that bad. And I continued like that for about couple of months until I actually could say I made some valuable friends. So that was the place where I actually put my energy from quitting masturbation in. And right now I have created this one friendship group that I am honestly proud of. One of my friends is in Bali, the other person is someone I can hang out every single day. Also a businessman, I have another friend as a businessman, another businessman friend, a millionaire friend. It's beautiful, it's amazing. People that actually mean something within this world are all around me. And that's all because I started socializing because I quit porn. So that was one of the biggest things that shifted within my life. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. And it wasn't just guys that I was connecting with. The next part, I never saw it coming. You see, this one was kind of even unexpected. I was just working my normal 9 to 5 job. I was a dishwasher inside a restaurant. And inside that restaurant, there was this culture every single summer of people just coming and going, coming and going. And one single summer, probably around 10 people switched from their positions. And in the kitchen once came this one girl that was not that great looking. I wasn't that attracted to her. I never thought I would have anything with her, if I'm honest. But after a long enough time, I just saw her crying outside. And I asked my boss, quote unquote, the guy who is below the boss, who is responsible for the kitchen, bro, what's going on with her? And he's like, I don't know, everyone tried to do something. I don't know, maybe you should go and speak to her. And I go there, and she's trying to keep the tears in. She's just trying to be herself, and it doesn't work out. She just bursts into tears after all. We hang out for a while. I don't leave her like that. Couple of hours pass, if I'm honest. And I'm kind of thinking in the back of my mind, bro, I fucked up my sleep schedule thanks to you. Why the fuck are you crying? And after all of that, we finally decide to leave. Couple of more times of meeting up with each other, she ends up asking me, hey, let's be together. And that was the first time a girl proposed to me and not the other way around. And now you may ask why. This is not me saying, this is her saying. She described to me that I was just carrying myself differently. She saw how I handled arguments. She saw that I was able to basically maneuver my way out of any situation with persistent calmness, with persistent nice energy around me. And I never got angry. I never got into fights. And that was what attracted her to me. So it turns out that the energy, the presence, and the control you just radiate outside of yourself once you finally beat this one habit is the thing that will bring you most success when it comes down to girls. But the real shift, it wasn't just in my body or my relationships. It was in my mindset. And this last part is what really took me from just barely surviving to literally thriving within life. Before quitting porn, my mindset was all about fixing myself. You see, I saw myself as a broken man. And naturally, I thought that if I wanted to become successful, I need to go and do something to fix myself first of all, and then I can become successful. And yeah, that's somewhat true, but it turns out that a big part of it comes down to your mindset as to how do you view yourself. You see, if you ask me right now, what if you gained 30 kilos all of a sudden and now you're fat? I'm gonna tell you that within like 2 months, I'm gonna go on and literally lose every single one of those 30 kgs and come back to my current weight and physique because that's who I am. So you see, success doesn't like to be hoped for. That's something I realized. Success needs to be brought from the place of, hey, I already have it. That's why so many people talk about abundance in today's world, on YouTube and everywhere else. Abundance, what does it mean? You already have it, quote unquote, even though you don't have it. You act like you have it. And naturally, when you act like you have the girl will be attracted to you. It's like that mischievous cat meme. When you try to chase the cat, it runs away from you. But when you act like you don't care, the cat comes to you. And the same thing applies to success. And now I can proudly say that 3 years later, I had this one situation at school. I was just reading this one book on my tablet, and the teacher just made a joke about that. And this guy, let's just name him Jonathan. He just looks at me and he just makes a remark, a small remark at the time. If you don't make it, I don't know what you're doing. And I couldn't agree more, because later on, I had this one situation where I was just driving to my karate class and I'm on my bike. I feel awesome for some reason. I just had a call with a guy and I feel absolutely incredible. The reason being is I'm meditating, I'm journaling, I'm going to the gym, I'm reading those books. I tell to myself, Christian, if you fail, I don't know what you're doing. There is no way you're gonna fail. That was the remark I made to myself. And you have no clue how good that feels until you live it yourself. So that's what truly happens after you quit porn. And that's when everything changed. I wasn't running from failure anymore. Instead, I was stepping into success every single day.